Welcome back to another FPL Captaincy analysis. Last round we gave Bukayo Saka the armband, but just 2 points from him in the double game week. Look, premiums have been a little bit underwhelming recently, however, there's some superb fixtures for the likes of Newcastle, Wolves and Liverpool this week. It's another competitive game week for captaincy. Let's find out who I'm backing and why. Shocking output from my top 4 last week. Saka struggled to perform due to the lack of minutes in the double. He wasted a bunch of chances against Ipswich and failed to outscore the Egyptian Prince, who blanked in both games. Even though we were right about the fixture difficulty for Marmoush, valuing minutes over fixtures was the play. My 34 shortlist is looking very tasty. Liverpool are 1 point away from winning the league. A win or a draw is all that's needed on Sunday against a Tottenham side who conceded 6 in the reverse fixture this season. Salah himself was involved in 4 of those goals in that game, his biggest single game week return of the season. The Saturday options include Cunha and Isak, both strikers, face promoted teams at home, and Cole Palmer's playing Everton at 12:30 in the early kickoff. Now, because of the doubles, I wasn't able to use my scoring system in the last 2 weeks, but this time it has returned. As we go through each section, the 4 players will be awarded points based off the strength of their profile. 4 points goes to the best profile, 3 points goes to the second best profile, 2 points to the third best, and just the 1 point to the player with the worst profile. Whoever has the most points at the end of the video will be my best captain. Let's get into it. Isak's returned in every home start against promoted teams in FPL, but for me, Palmer has the strongest historical record. His best performance for Chelsea was against Everton at home last season, where he delivered 4 goals and 26 points. He even started at home to Everton for Man City a few years back, returning 1 assist. Salah's been consistent against Tottenham at home, just the 1 blank in the last 5 for Mo, but Isak's historical consistency and Palmer's historical explosivity means I'm awarding Mo with just 2 points. Palmer claims the max +4, Isak gets +3, and even though Cunha's points history is solid, it's just not as strong as the other 3, just the 1 point for him in historical records. All 4 of these teams are pretty targetable this week, but Leicester City have been god-smacking awful. Across the season, they ranked 19th in the league for goals conceded, big chances conceded, and shots on target conceded. In their last 4 away games, they've conceded 9.1 XGC. The next worst XGC in this shortlist in the last 4 away from home games is Ipswich with 8.1 XGC. So as you can see, there is a sizable gap in terms of recent underlying data. I have Leicester as the most targetable fixture, followed by Ipswich, then Spurs, and finally Everton. Postecoglou's team have made 36 defensive errors in this campaign. Only 3 teams have made more mistakes at the back, and additionally, they've shipped 139 chances down Salah's flank, and that's a huge green tick matchup-wise for Mo. Just quickly on Everton before we move on, I do respect their defense. I do have them as the least targetable fixture this week, but captain and centre-back James Tarkowski pulled his hamstring in the Manchester City game recently, and current reports are suggesting he'll be out for that Chelsea match, and for me, that's a huge factor for Cole Palmer. It makes them way more vulnerable in central areas, which is exactly where he will operate. Palmer prospects continue to rise because his points history in Saturday home games is fantastic. The last time Palmer started a Saturday home game was way back in Gameweek 6, September 2024. That's more than 6 months ago, guys. In that match, his most recent Saturday home match, Palmer managed 25 points, 4 goals against Brighton. So 100% for me, Palmer has the best game day profile. Second best one is Mo Salah in Sunday home fixtures. Impressive recent form, very healthy return rate, and he's delivered output in 88% of starts on Sunday at home, which is super amazing. +3 for him, +2 for Isak, who's just been a tad bit underwhelming in Saturday home kickoffs, and Cunha's dataset has too many red flags, just a +1 for him. Moving into game time analysis, and this is really where Mo Salah begins to dominate the field. If you watched last week's video, you already know that one of Salah's favorite kickoff times, arguably his favorite kickoff time, is 4:30 on that Sunday. His average is ranked first in all 5 metrics. He smashes the competition. Crazy recent form, although I will say he has gotten a pen in all 3 of his most recent home starts at 4:30, a 7-pointer against Man United pen, a 13-pointer against Man City pen and assist, and a 12-pointer against Chelsea pen and assist. All of those goals were pens, but look, nonetheless, he's still top dog in this section. Second best profile belongs to Isak in the 3 PMs at home, but only because Cole Palmer hasn't featured many times in the early kickoff, just the 2 home starts with 1 goal, and ultimately it's not enough sample size to warrant 3 points. So Coley gets just 2, and finally Cunha, his dataset just isn't as consistent as the others, just the 1 point for him once again. Both Salah and Isak have had a full week's rest heading into game week 34. Isak will have had just a few hours less of rest compared to Salah, so Mo's going to get the max points here. Isak's getting the +3, and I've awarded Cole Palmer with the +2, even though both him and Cunha have the same spacing, and that's because Palmer's last game was away to Fulham, and that is in London, which means he's travelled less than Cunha has over the last week or so, and that's why I'm giving him the slight edge here. Now, for expected minutes, we all know who the top dog is. It's definitely Mo Salah. He's played 84 or more minutes in the last 20 league games in a row. I'm projecting another 90-minute cameo against Tottenham. I've then awarded Palmer the +3 here because he's played 90 minutes in in 3 of the last 4 league matches for Chelsea, and his xMinutes are more secure than Cunha, who's only come into the team because of a Bellegarde injury, and Isak, who has the worst security of minutes, failing to reach 90 in any of the last 6 Newcastle League games, and that's why I think an early sub for Alex around the 80th minute mark is probably likely. The final category we need to rank is form, and in my opinion, Cunha's in the best patch right now. Since coming back from suspension, he's returned twice in 2 league appearances, so he's taking the max 4 points. Isak's 3 returns in the last 4 is the best recent premium output, so he's second behind Cunha, taking the +3. And look, there's been a lot of talk about Cole Palmer's recent form, and look, I understand he hasn't scored in a while, but look, if you compare his output to Salah's from game weeks 30 to 33 since the return of football from international break, Palmer's actually returned 2 GA versus Salah's 1 GA in that time frame, and for that reason, I'm awarding Palmer 2 points for form and just the 1 point for Mo Salah, who's on a 9-game goal drought across all competitions. Yeah, Mo's recent form is a little concerning, but luckily he's facing Dr. Tottenham, the best doctor in the world, and look, Salah is by far my best captain for game week 34. His profiles across all sections have him as the highest scoring option in my scoring system this week, and honestly, look, I watched the Spurs Forest game recently on that Monday night kickoff, and I'm very confident in Salah's potential. He's got really good historical records in this fixture, and the thing I like about this game for Salah is how Ange usually sets up defensively. Postecoglou rarely doubles up on an attacker because of his attacking principles, and that should benefit Salah immensely. I don't expect Ange's backline to keep that high of a line at Anfield, but like I pointed out earlier, Spurs rank inside the bottom 5 teams for defensive errors made this season. We've already seen Salah capitalize on mistakes countless times this campaign, for example, home and away to Aston Villa, Southampton away as well, and there's many more examples. So I'm expecting Salah to do very well as Liverpool look to wrap up the league title on Sunday. In terms of EO, I've got Mo in and around the 180s. Look, he could be into the 190s, but I do expect a few Cowboys to sling their armband on an Alexander Isak or Matthias Cunha, who's in at wildcard captain this week. His profiles just weren't as competitive as the other 3, but if you're looking for a high risk, high reward option, I do think he's the guy to go for. Wolves are in red hot form. I think they're on a 5-game win streak in the league, and it's a very good fixture in the form of Leicester at home. Now, Cole Palmer and Isak have finished on the exact same points in the scoring system, which means I've got the final say here, and honestly, I'm putting Cole Palmer in at 2nd place, Isak at 3rd. I understand Everton are a tougher fixture on paper, but I think Tarkowski's injury makes them way more targetable. Palmer's historical records excellent, and the key factors that have me more inclined to vice Cole over Alex is minutes and the fact that he's a midfielder, which means higher ceiling due to the extra goal point, potential clean sheet point as well. And according to the market odds, Chelsea's clean sheet potential is very decent for that Everton game, and for those reasons, he's going to have my vice captaincy, and Isak is in at 3rd place. Unfortunately, no vice or no captaincy, and no captaincy for Alexander. Look, That's how I'm lining up. I understand not many people are hot on Cole Palmer, but just look at his returns on Saturday in Saturday home matches, very strong. If you found this video helpful, if you found it insightful, then do consider subscribing. Let me know who you're captaining in the comment section. Let me know who you think will be the highest scoring player in Game Week 34, and best of luck this weekend.